Okay, I thought I'll just do a little video to show where I'm up to with the parallel port transfer system. I've got one more utility to write, the third utility, which is to allow you to transfer a single file across to a DFS disk where the file will appear amongst existing files, i.e. it's not going to overwrite the complete disk like an SSD or a DSD does. You'd probably use that typically for ROM images, but of course any type of program file, any data file you want to send across, you can use that third utility to do that. It's written, but I just haven't finished testing it yet. But I thought I'll jump in and do this video because I've had a play around with a transfer device and it's kind of taken it to where I originally envisaged this going, which was to make use of something like a PDA, or in fact a mobile phone with Bluetooth and the ability to print or send files blind to that port. So what we've got then is a standard BBC Model B with a disk interface. Can be 8271 or 1770 in this case, but you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to fit any ROMs. You can just grab a Beeb off the shelf that's got a disk interface and you can use this facility. All we do is we plug the parallel cable as described into the user port, and in my case I've got the Pico plug Bluetooth adapter on, but if you don't want to use that, you can just take a standard PC printer cable, D-type Centronics, plug that onto the Centronic socket there and take that through, plug it onto your laptop or desktop, and away you go. But as I say, I wanted to use this wireless system. I've got a double disk drive, double 3.5. You can use a single disk drive and it can be 3.5 or 5.25. There literally is nothing special, no special requirements for your Beeb setup. It's just a Beeb with a disk interface and a single drive is quite sufficient. Now I've got I've got two disks in the drive, and on drive 1 I've got it's where I've been using just to develop the files, develop the programs. Down here we've got user port DSD and user port SSD. Those are the two published programs, the version 2s, the turbo or fast versions. And on disk 1 we've got a game, I think, Snapper. And that's on, did I say this one? That's on disk 0. So what I'm going to do, we'll just dive straight in, show the system in operation, and what I'm going to do is just transfer another game over and put it onto that disk. So what we'll do is, the utilities are in drive 1, so I'll just switch to drive 1 and say start UP SSD 0, because 0 is the target drive, that's where it will send the image to. With a double-sided image, that would represent 0 and 2. You'd write to both sides of that physical unit. If you put SSD 1, you'd write to both sides of the drive 1, and so therefore you get 1 and 3. I'm using this little Hewlett-Packard iPad, which it's a PDA, I think, or Pocket PC. It's not really my strong area, any of this, and it runs little Windows. I think it's called Pocket PC, isn't it? The only thing that's special on this that doesn't come as standard, if you like, the only bit of software about it is a print driver, which in this case is called HP Mobile Print. The reason I've used that one is because it allows you to send a file to the printer, the virtual printer if you like, through the virtual port, as a raw file. So it bypasses the driver, it won't mess around with line feeds, carriage returns, and it won't respond to the end of file character. So it's the same as I've previously demonstrated in a DOS window, the copy/B to LPT1. So we'll go for it. So start UP SSD 0, press enter. It says ready, and it's now waiting for data from the user port, and in this case that'll come via the Pico plug. So all I'm going to do is select Start, HP Mobile Printing. I've got a few disk images on here, so we'll just pick one. We'll say Thrust, select Thrust and say Print, and it'll probably ask me which device. There we go. It will now connect to the Pico plug. Transfer started. That says receiving. It will now buffer 8 tracks at a time. This is probably a typical, I don't know how big this image is, it was 30k, something like that, and that's it, finished. So if we press shift break, and we now got Thrust on that disk. It's really is as easy as that, and as you can see, for typical standard image is very fast. Yeah, Thrust is 26k, so not huge. So what we'll do now, we'll go again, but this time we'll transfer a larger image. I've got on this disk, on this unit, I've got an Elite A, in fact, which is a full 200k image, which takes about just over 30 seconds. I'm sure you'll all time it on stopwatches once you play the video back. So what we'll do, same thing again, switch to drive 1, start UP SSD 0, enter, ready. Over here I'll select Elite, print, connect to the device. It's connected and flashing, got receiving on there, and away we go. So this one will probably take in the region of about 30 seconds. Obviously writing to the disk takes a large percentage of the time, but the actual data transfer is pretty fast. As I put in the thread, we're talking 30k a second, that sort of thing. The equivalent baud rate, something like 230k, not 9600, so it's about 20 times faster, probably now at least 20 times faster than a 9600 baud transfer system. It's probably getting to the end now, I would think. Yeah, it's stopped now, it's just finishing off and the transfer ended. So we now go shift break, and there we now have Elite on there. Loading commander, no space, launch. So yeah, I didn't see how long that was, but I think I put the times in the thread, but it's about 33 seconds from actually the device starting sending the data. So one last time then, break, start drive 1, start UP SSD 0, enter, ready. And what have we got on here? Anything interesting? Aviator, send Aviator over, print, that device, it's going, receiving, it's only an Aviator again, 25k I think I saw, receiving, finished, shift break, and there we have Aviator. So in my humble opinion, this is a nice system. If you've got a mobile phone, PDA or some small device, this one's got internet access, so you can literally sit at your Beeb, and if someone posts an image you want to try it, you can just come straight to your computer with your PDA and away you go. If you don't want to use the Bluetooth side, then that's fine. As I say, the cable system's equally as fast, equally as convenient. So that's where we're at. Thank you for listening.